welcome back to the Inside the Wheel. And this week, we're looking at how the media covered the Muslim riots in Australia.
Riots? Hey, this was no mere riot. Gosh, there were Muslims involved, so it was a...
Violent and unpredictable Muslim uprising.
Uprisings.
I mean, this was an uprising.
But not every media outlet took the uprising angle. Over at Green Left Weekly, it was actually the police rioting against some peaceful Muslims.
Yes. I mean, it was unnerving to see this extremist policeman headbutting that poor Muslim's flag. Still, the rest of the world had a different view, as put forward by the police commissioner.
You don't wear a face covering unless you're going to get up to badness.
Badness? Was he just promoting underbelly now, is he?
Yes. Oh, no, Scipione's on the Channel 9 payroll, Chaz. I mean, he's becoming pretty blatant about it, too. He's even plugging their American sitcoms.
2.5 minutes is a must-watch program.
So, I don't think that's appropriate.
Oh, no, it's not. I mean, especially given there's so much excellent TV on other channels, like on Sky News, where Carson Scott isolated the real takeout message from the protests.
That is the takeout from today's dramatic events here in the heart of Sydney. Events scheduled for tomorrow, namely the marathon, 35,000 runners. Well, that event is taking place.
Yes, that was the takeout message for Muslims worldwide.
أن يسمع العالم هذا النداء فقولوا معي كلمة يا رسول الله.
I thought that analysis was spot on, but then Channel 10's New Zealand import Paul Henry found a totally different takeout message from the same protests.
And I look at them, wearing their bloomin' whatever those robes are called. They're all wearing Nikes. Where do you think they come from? Your running shoes. Shouldn't you be in bare feet?
So if you hate one American, you're not supposed to wear American shoes.
Well, I mean, look, I hate one New Zealander, so I'd better not wear these shoes.
I don't know why you bought them in the first place, Andrew. It wasn't just Paul Henry. There were many experts on Islamic theology analysing this riot, and none were more qualified than Sunrise's sexologist.
I don't think children that young should be at a riot.
Yes, I mean, you only obtain nuggets of wisdom like that from sexologists. In fact, everybody is onto it.
يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه المجيد.
But look, some programs couldn't afford a sexologist, so they resorted to using Muslim experts on religion, specifically Joe Hildebrand's religion.
But it's very easy for, say, like Joe, no offence, Joe, to say that because you have restrictions against your religion. You can't say anything bad about Jewish people. We don't have them kind of protections.
I'm not Jewish.
Oh, aren't you? Are you sure?
It's a good thing. It's a good thing that Joe isn't Jewish, otherwise Jews really would control the media.
I mean, the only thing networks like more than analysis is apologies. And not just one, no. For an apology to count, it needs to be made every single day for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and the go-to guy for apologies would have to be that last guy you saw, Kaiser Trad. Now, he had absolutely nothing to do with the idiots behind this riot, yet all week he was expected to take responsibility for their actions.
I do take some responsibility. Some fault lies with us as the elders in the community. We should have preempted this.
I mean, Kaiser's now expected to apologise for all kinds of bad behaviour he had nothing to do with.
I apologise for the protests by Muslims. I also apologise for Julia Gillard's stomach bug. I apologise for the unseasonal humidity. I apologise for 2.5 men winning an Emmy and for the disappointing new banana paddle pop. It is just one isolated flavour. It is not representative of all paddle pops.
He's at it all the time. And it's not just apologies. Muslims are also very useful for providing a second-hand mouthpiece for your own dodgy views.
Yes, you can be as inflammatory as you want, as long as you attribute that statement to an ethnic.
I was talking to the taxi driver who's from the Middle East. He said they should be sent back. They are not true Australians. And I said, a lot of them are born here. And he said, I don't care. From their original roots, they should be sent back. And that was a Middle Eastern person saying it.
See? That makes perfect sense. And you know why? Muslims know stuff. With the right prompting, they even know statistics they couldn't possibly know.
If we were allowed to look at the 15 pictures on the front page of the Daily Telegraph today, what percentage would be on Centrelink payments, do you think?
Mate, at least 70% of.
Maybe 12 out of the 15?
Probably, mate.
Yeah, well, that was conclusive. I mean, well, let's get our own Muslim statistician. So how many of Ray Hadley's statistics would you say he simply pulls out of his arse?
I'd say 100%.
Damning indeed. So the media spoke to a whole bunch of people who have nothing to do with the riot. What about the people who actually caused it?
Oh, no one knows who caused the riot, Chaz.
Oh, yes, they do.
Welfare authorities have been ordered to find this boy and investigate his mother after his message of religious hatred helped escalate Saturday's riot.
You see, that child mastermind escalated the riot.
Yes, I recognise that toddler. He's responsible for fomenting violence everywhere. He whipped up the orc armies of the Dark Lord Sauron. That wasn't the only shire he was inciting violence in. I mean, look at him here with Vernessa.
Says it all. When faced with such insurmountable evil, there is only one thing you can do.
Take their children. Calls to remove jihad kids from their parents.
Yes, because taking dark-skinned children away from their parents has always worked so well in this country.
But despite all this argy-bargy, there was one thing that everyone could agree upon.
The ugly scenes we saw were completely un-Australian.
It's un-Australian. This is very un-Australian.
So even the imams are labelling things un-Australian.
Of course it's un-Australian. We live in Libya, Andrew.
Oh, Chaz, God, look, we've been through this before. Don't you pay attention to the news at all?
This is not Libya. This is not Libya.
This isn't Libya.
Oh, sorry, it slipped my mind.
Yes,
sorry,
this is not Libya, and neither is this, nor this, nor this. In fact, we have so many riots here over in Libya, this is how the police chief tries to calm their protests down.
بيان من منتسبي شرطة منطقة الداعية. في البداية نترحم على قرارات شهداء ثورة الشباب.
Look, that's all very well, Andrew, but the Muslim protests were extreme. There were hundreds of people drawn there by social media. They threw bottles and rocks, and special police were called in to disperse them. That does not happen in Australia, except for the very same weekend in Perth.
Police in Perth are pelted with bricks, rocks and glass bottles. Around 500 people turned up in Piara waters after words spread on Facebook. Officers called in reinforcements, including mounted police, the dog squad and the police helicopter to disperse the crowd.
Sounds like it has all the hallmarks of an uprising.
Oh, no. These weren't Muslims. No, so this was
an out-of-control party in the city's southeast.
It was an out-of-control party! Which is why it was reported once and then immediately forgotten.
Hey, but don't you see? This is the path to peace. Muslims riot like we do, they call things un-Australian like we do, and they tell Muslims to go home like we do.
Complete racial harmony is here!